Small Business Shoutouts are brought to you by Yankton Thrive, a service of 5-Star Communications. Business owners, if you're interested in being interviewed for our Small Business Shoutouts with Yankton Thrive, contact the folks at Yankton Thrive.
Hi and welcome. This is Brittany Wagner back again with another edition of Small Business Shoutout. Today I am visiting with Spencer with Runza. How are you, Spencer?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Yes, thank you for being here. So, Spencer, you and I have had a chance to talk in the past, but I really want to dive more into how you got started and why you decided to come to Yankton. So, can you tell us a little bit more about your history with Runza and your move to Yankton?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm actually from Wausau, Nebraska, so not too far away. And I went to the University of Nebraska in Lincoln, and I grew up eating at Runza, but I didn't like the Runzas back then. It's kind of an acquired taste like coffee, but now I love coffee. So I went to school down in Lincoln, fell in love with Runza, eating Runza. I live right next to one, so I went there all the time. Then I've been on my entrepreneurial career path, and I stumbled across the opportunity to get into with Runza. I love the company. It's a smaller family organization, but they're growing throughout the Midwest into Iowa, Kansas, Colorado, and South Dakota. So I'm just thrilled they chose me. I'm really enjoying living in Yankton. My girlfriend and I, we live together here. She's in the schools teaching. So yeah, met a lot of fun people, and there's so many fun events to do in Yankton. So we're really liking it.
And we're going to touch on that in a minute because you really are all about embracing community, which I think is amazing. And I think sometimes people misunderstand that while Runza might be a chain, it's also a small business. Not just because they embody small business philosophies, right, family friendly, but that you are a franchisee owner. So by default, you are a small business. What can you tell us about Runza that maybe either, you said acquired taste earlier, but what are maybe some misconceptions or things that you want people to know about Runza?
Yeah, great question. It's a hard question. I think the main concept is Runza is our name, so everyone thinks about Runza. But we have a lot of things on our menu that aren't Runzas. A Runza is not for everybody, and it wasn't even for me for a lot of years. And now I love Runzas and adding stuff to my Runza, all the sauces like a spicy Jack Runza, a barbecue bacon Swiss, a Swiss mushroom Runza. Our burgers, I believe that our fast food burgers are the best burgers out there. They're hand pressed, not frozen meat, not a clamshell grill. I talk to somebody about every week. I was talking to a guy the other day. He was like, that's the best burger I've had in years. So I'm just trying to do more community events to get more trial. And it's a win-win if I can hand out some free food, some free lemonade refreshers, some free ranch for people to drink. Well, they love the ranch.
And ranch is a hot commodity for Runza.
It is, yeah. We make it fresh every morning. And so I think Runza, people think that you come to Runza, you have to get a Runza. And that's not really the case. We pretty much do 50-50 Runzas and burgers. So we do a lot of burgers out of there. And yeah, if you haven't had a burger, we're having a huge event coming up this summer to kick off camping and grilling season. So we're going to do a buy one, get one free burger all weekend long. We're going to do some face painting. And so that's going to be a fun event coming up this summer. Balloons and free giveaways and all sorts of hats. Like we got free bucket hats, and so it should be fun.
And where, tell me more about this event. Where, when, give me all the details.
We just lined that up this morning. I think
on the spot.
Yeah, you'll hear all about it because we're going to promote it. We're going to highly promote it. But that is going to be May 24th, 25th, and 26th. I think that's Memorial Day.
Yeah. So just a few short weeks away.
Yep.
And you highlighted your burgers, but I also just wanted to let everyone else know that you have salads, you have these lemonade refreshers, you have popcorn chicken. I mean, so truly, if you aren't interested in a Runza, like Spencer highlighted, that it really is something for everyone. And frings. I didn't know what a fring was until you were here. Tell me what a fring is.
Yep. It's It's just a combination of onion rings and fries.
And we get them every time. I don't know why no one else has thought of that, but that's genius.
Yeah.
A fring. So tell me more about, and I already kind of have an inside scoop because we visited before, but remind me again about your early morning process in the kitchen, everything from scratch. Can you tell me more about that?
Yep. So I think that's really what distinguishes Runza fast food. We're still very quick, but a lot of it's quality and homemade, house-made items. So every single morning, we're double dipping onion rings from scratch. We're making the dough from scratch for the Runzas. We're making the ground beef, the Omaha steaks meat that goes inside of the Runza. We're cooking the cabbage. We're mixing it all together, and then we're making the homemade ranch from scratch. We have a dairy, and we get all of our milk out of Norfolk. So besides that, we're house making our salads every morning. We're breaking the heads of lettuce. And so, it sounds like a lot of work, and it can be at times, but I have an awesome crew. It's like nothing that we can whip out Runzas. And in the wintertime, we're making homemade chili from scratch. We're opening the cans of beans and getting messy. But yeah.
And I think that you shared something about having a good crew, and I just wanted to highlight that a good crew comes from good leadership, which you, by no question ask, have great leadership. And I also want to spin that into how involved you are with the community, and you have tons of events, whether it be, you mentioned earlier, passing out free food, but I've been to events where it's maybe just free cookies for the kiddos or passing out kids' meal coupons. So involved with the community. And I know you mentioned you have a lot of things coming up down the line. How can we find you? What should we be looking for to learn more?
Yeah, great question. I guess going back on, I just want to shout out my crew and my staff at the store. They do an awesome job. I have Greg and Tiffany, Christine, Brandon. I just have a really strong management team with Matt and Lyric, and down to some high school kids that are just awesome. They're going to go some places. And but as it comes to community events, we're always looking to get more and more involved. So please reach out to the store or reach out to the chamber, and you can grab my number. But we have a lot of fun events there with the I've been working with a lot of coaches, youth. We'd love to give free sport armbands out. We're doing cookies and coupons. And this upcoming summer, we're going to be working with Luke in the city with the pool, free ice cream. There's a big kids series I know that the city's hosting with foam cannons and petting zoos and DJs. And so that's going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to be there at that as well. There's some other events like a kids, Yankton's wrestling coaches are putting on a clinic with the polar bear, Nash Hutchmaker. He's from Chamberlain, South Dakota. So that should be a really fun event for if you're interested in wrestling. But yeah, we're doing more. We got some school fundraisers with Sacred Heart. We're gonna line up. We just got done with Crofton Elementary School. We raised a bunch of money for them. We have we still have some more school fundraisers lined up. We do have runs a food truck that's going to be at the music at the Meridian a couple nights. We just locked in. We're going to be out in front of Cottonwood for the majority of the summer for Lake Days, where we'll be doing ice cream cones, lemonade refreshers, the whole meal, a ton of burgers, fries, chicken strips, everything out of there too. So our main goal is just trying to get more people to try what's on our menu. And if we can raise some money for a good cause in the meantime, that's kind of what we're aiming to do.
Well, and I know that you've only been in Yankton for about a year, right? Coming up on a year?
A year in January or July 31st.
So in just that short amount of time, you have really shown some grit and tenacity in terms of getting involved in the community over competition. And I think that there's no better example than you and your Runza team for that. So thank you so much. If you would like to learn more about Runza, you can reach out to us at yanktonsd.com, and we will get you connected with Spencer, or check out all of their platforms, social medias, to learn more. Thank you so much.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Small Business Shoutouts are on the air every Tuesday at 10:30 and Thursday 2:30. Small Business Shoutouts, along with Yankton Thrive and 5 Star Communications Classic Hits 106.3.